Hello and welcome to Eskay Today. I'm Graham Wolstenholme. Coming up on the show, an update on the conflict in Syria. Buckingham Palace holds their first football match. There has been a reshuffle in the cabinet. Visa troubles for an X Factor contestant, and Miley Cyrus commits homicide on herself. In our lead story today, the poison of the sectarian hatred is spreading from Turkey to Syria as a result of the Turkish government giving full support to the militant Sunni Muslims in the Syrian civil war. The Alevi, a long persecuted Shia sector which holds 10-20 million Turks belong, say they feel menaced by the government's pro-Sunni stance in the Sunni Shia struggle that is taking place all across the Muslim world. Sectarian fault lines between the Sunni majority and the Alevi, Turkey's biggest and largest religious majority, have always existed and are becoming deeper and more embittered and openly expressed. Alawite Muslims who have fled to Turkey to escape the violence in Syria. Often they find little safer after they have crossed the border. However, some Alawites have found that their way to Istanbul, where they are being looked after by the Alevi community. Here is US Secretary of State John Kerry's take on the whole situation.
We are going to both engage with Special Envoy Lakhdar Brahimi and lay the groundwork for a round of talks. It is our mutual hope that that can happen in November.
Wembley groundsmen have started to mark out the football pitch at Buckingham Palace as its first match to be hosted there. It's all in aid to mark the Football Association's 150th anniversary, and the Duke of Cambridge, the president of the FA, has arranged a competitive fixture involving two amateur sides. It was the Queen who gave permission for the Southern Amateur League's fixture to take place. Prince William will host the event and present medals to 150 volunteers. Wembley groundsman Tony Stones worked with the Royal Household Gardeners to create a 110 yards by 65 yards pitch in the 39-acre garden. We have Alan McRhodes, the celebrated commentator on the Scottish football scene, on the phone at the present moment. Hello there, Alan. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, Graham.
Hi. Just going to ask you this question. Do you feel that Scottish football fans will feel more British because it's at Buckingham Palace, this particular match?
Well, I don't see, to be honest, what this has got to do with Scotland at all. I mean, these teams aren't even playing from Scotland, right? Scotland, I mean, it's two southern teams, so I just don't really see what it's got to do with Scotland, and I think I speak on behalf of the nation for that.
Understandable. Do you actually think it would have been better to have an amateur Scottish side play to face an English side to celebrate the 150th anniversary? As you know, that England and Scotland are it's the longest running fixture within football. Do you think that would have been better?
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, think about that. So it's 150 years since the old firm derby's been played, and again we've sort of missed that for so many years. We had one earlier on this year, but we haven't had that for many years, and that was always a favourite for both north and south of the border, so I think that would have been a lot better, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, do you think it would have brought us more together? Do you think it would have given us more of a British slant on it rather than it being England v Scotland?
I'm not sure it's the British slant. I think it's just more the rivalry. I think it's just something that we've always had and we always like to have between the two nations, isn't it? Even though we fly under one flag, I think there's still a little bit of, want to get one over on the other.
Yeah, I mean, we've had many commentators here from the your neck of the woods, including, of course, Andy Gray and Alan Brazil as such. Would you feel fit to commentate on the game if it was to happen, if you were approached at all by the FA?
Well, perhaps if it had some kind of Scottish connection, but I mean, I know very little about the English teams and the English game, so maybe if there was some representation, a true representation from Scotland, we may have some vested interest in that, but beyond that, I think I have very little interest.
I mean, there was talk of this 30 years ago when you were producing great players like Kenny Dalglish and Graham Souness and John Robertson, to name but three. Would you ever feel it conceivable that England and Scotland national sides were to sort of merge together, like they have in rugby and in athletics, to have a great British side rather than England and Scotland?
No, not a chance for that. I'm sorry about that, Graham. Goodbye.
Oh, thank you. That's Alan McRhodes. Thank you very much. He was a bit brief there, but hopefully we'll get him back later on in the show if there's any chance. Anyway, moving back to the news, a reshuffle of Conservative and Liberal Democrat ministers in the coalition government is underway today, as many ministers are finding themselves being replaced, promoted and even fired. So far, Michael Moore has been replaced as Scotland's Secretary of State by fellow Lib Dem Alistair Carmichael. Greg Hands has been promoted from Assistant Whip to Deputy Chief Whip. Disabilities Minister Esther McVey has been appointed Employment Minister, and Labour leader Ed Miliband is also planning to release details of a shake-up of his front bench sometime today. And now we have an exclusive interview with Chloe Smith, who is stepping down as Conservative MP for North Norwich.
I wrote to the Prime Minister in September to give him my resignation, effective at the next reshuffle, which is therefore this week. And I did that because it's about what matters most to me, which is my constituency. That's always been the case, and I'm proud of my record and the time I've given to serving as a minister. But what I want to focus on is my work for Norwich North, and also in engaging young people, which indeed is something I've been doing a lot of in the constituency, also as a minister, and there is much more to do.
X Factor contestants Rough Copy have been forced to quit the show after one of its members failed to get a visa. The band from South London have been selected to take part in the Judges' Houses section of the competition. Nigerian-born Kazeem Ajobo has applied for a visa which allows him to travel to the United States and then will return to the UK. The 23-year-old singer commented, "We are gutted that we've had to leave the competition as we were having such a great time." Kazeem added, "Hopefully, if everything is okay with my visa, we can apply again next year." Two bands were also eliminated earlier in the talent show process and will be replaced by Rough Copy. And finally, Miley Cyrus has made her way into the headlines once again. Good Girl Gone Bad 20-year-old Miley shocked the audience of an American TV show, Saturday Night Live, by stating she's murdered her old self. She then went on to say she'll never twerk again and said, "Now white people do it, it just seems lame." Tabloids and bloggers remain on the edge of their seats to find out just what she will do next. Now going back to our X Factor story from a couple of minutes ago, we've got Kelly Knott here to discuss a little bit more about the 10-year-old show. Right, as I just said there, we've been on, well, the X Factor who's replaced pop stars back in 2004. What do you see the future for the X Factor, maybe over the next 10 years, if there's got that life left in it?
I don't think it'll carry on for 10 years, to be honest with you. It just doesn't seem like it's going to go on for that long. If anything, it'll change into a different sort of reality TV show.
I mean, at the moment, reality television, since Big Brother was introduced way back in 2000, we just seem to be inundated with things, whether it be cooking, music programmes, and for instance, things like The Only Way is Essex, and now The Only Way is Vegas, which is a spin-off from that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's completely saturating the whole of British television? Do you think this should be somewhere where we can actually not get rid of it, but just maybe have a station for reality television so we can concentrate on better, bigger things?
Yeah, I think so. It's just, it'll probably be better if they have one channel for that instead of broadcasting it all over the world, because you have them all over. So.
I mean, the X Factor is quite popular. Obviously, it also spurned off Britain's Got Talent. It's the brainchild of Simon Cowell. He seems to be stepping back a lot and doing a lot in America with the America's Got Talent and the X Factor USA. Do you feel he should be concentrating more on the British one and be part of the actual judging panel still?
I think so, because he's more stern than all the others. But most celebrities are just coming in and out of it now, and it just seems like it's more for the judges than it is for the contestants.
I mean, what do you think of the contestants and the judges? Do you feel as though the judges are more high profile than the actual contestants? Oh, I'm going to watch it tonight because Nicole Scherzinger is going to say X, Y and Z, or Gary Barlow's going to do whatever. And now they've got Sharon Osbourne back on the actual sort of judging panel for the first time in 5 or 6 years. Do you think that's to try and combat these ratings with Strictly Come Dancing?
Yes, I think so. Because there's more higher celebrities coming into the panel now. More people want to watch it because they're on it. It's not for the contestants or anything like that.
And what do you think of the new format with the 6 chairs that each sort of category has got to have 9 contestants with 6 chairs and one can replace the other in front of the live audiences? Do you feel that's fair or unfair? Or
I don't think it's fair as in it's online or anything, on live or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's what real life is like.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I've read a lot of sort of reviews on it saying it's cruel, it's callous and everything else. But personally, I feel that is the nature of television.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hopefully see you again at some point. In breaking news, though, before we move on, in Houses of Parliament, we have just received confirmation that MP Stephen Williams has been appointed as Minister in the Communities and Local Government Department. Anyway, apart from that breaking news, that's all we have time for today. From myself and Kelly here at Eskay Today, check us out on Facebook and Twitter and tell us what you thought about today's story. I've been Graham Wolstenholme once again. Thanks very much for watching, and I bid you a good afternoon.
And if you wanna be a teacher,